Election Specials. I'm Helen Thomas of Blonde Money.
And Simon Thomas, Managing Director of Ridgefield Consulting. And
And
I was going to say we had 3 specialists today, but maybe we've just got 1. And 2 other people that are going to
2 people.
harp on and
We've got
talk about
a
something.
dog specialist here. This is Sonny. He's the chief treat
well,
stealer.
I don't know, happiness officer maybe.
Happiness officer, yeah.
Yeah, something
Chief
like
happiness
that.
officer.
Although, I don't know what you think about the developments. We've only had 5 days since the last one, haven't we?
I know, Sonny, and you know what's happened? Reform have overtaken Conservatives in one of the polls. What do you think of Nigel Farage, Sonny?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me. Don't ask me.
I thought he would inevitably bark, being a Jack Russell, but no, Jack Russell Cross. Yeah, so Nigel Farage reckons he's they're going to be the opposition.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did look up the other day about the chap. I'd forgotten his name already, but he's an the one round here.
Oh, is
I've got
there
his name. I've looked.
well, they've obviously got candidates. Actually, I think Reform have got candidates in almost every seat.
Right.
Which is quite amazing for a party that didn't even exist until I think even a year ago.
No, very quick. And he was an ex-Conservative. Shame I can't remember his name, but I did have a quick look. But
well, in this area,
right.
Look, that's it.
Specialist is gone.
He's gone now. He's just left with us.
Cool.
Yeah. So
which poll is?
Well, the thing about this poll was that it's only one poll, and they're all 1 percentage point ahead. And the truth of the matter is, yes, as we know in our electoral system, that you can get millions of votes, but not get the seats because you've got to win the constituencies. So the question though is, Nigel Farage has been quite clear about what he wants to do about destroy the Conservative Party.
Oh right, heavy words.
Yeah, well he actually, David Cameron is quite, oh god, it's like going back 10 years. But David Cameron was in the Times on Saturday saying Nigel Farage is divisive and inflammatory.
Right.
And then Nigel Farage wrote in the Telegraph on Sunday, David Cameron's a national disgrace. It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Sorry, my brain's gone. Is Cameron still?
Well, no.
What happened then?
So he goes. It's interesting, right? I thought that myself. I thought, crikey, we're back there when Cameron obviously stopped being Prime Minister the morning after the Brexit referendum, and that was 80 years ago. And he's back. He's back now because he's Foreign Secretary.
Well, yes, exactly.
Because they put him in the House of Lords. But yeah, I mean, as if we need to go back 8 years. I think we need to look at the next 8 years, don't we?
Well, yeah, but obviously right-wing papers are all coming, they're vote for Farage, it's a loss, I suppose Sunak's going down that route as well, isn't he?
Well, going more right-wing?
It's a lost vote if we vote, if you...
Yeah, you vote Reform,
vote Reform.
You get Labour.
But is there a danger of this, the Hung situation, the Clegg-Cameron situation, or is that not...
Well, the Labour Party, if we believe the polls, are so far ahead. That's the thing. So they're on... around 40% of the vote.
Right.
And you basically, in that particular poll, there was Reform on something like 18% and the Conservatives on 17 or 19 or whatever. And that's where the issue comes, because obviously if you just added up Reform and Conservative, you get to 36% against Labour 40%. And
that's when you look at the metrics, that's a significant...
That's where you can argue if the Conservative Party were to embrace Reform, could they actually do better? But how can you do that when Farage says he wants to destroy the party? So, and actually, it's not a given that every Reform voter would vote Tory, or that every Conservative likes Reform, or anyway. We're getting in the weeds now, but...
So what's happened since last... it's only been a matter of days, but from your radar, what's moved on in the last 5 days? Obviously, that's one thing.
Then we've had more accusations about tax from the Conservative Party on Labour, where, there's a document. I sent you called...
Let's have a look.
What's it called again? Tax rise... 18 tax rises is a document the Conservative Party had produced, because we talked last time where Labour said, we're not going to raise, what was it, income tax?
Yeah, or national insurance. Didn't really mention VAT, but...
No, they've confirmed they won't be raising VAT.
No, but you said there might be these nuances that they affect it for different industries, but anyway.
But as you pointed out at the time, that's a big chunk of tax take. However, because they didn't mention some other things, we're looking at the list here, and you can find this on the internet, Google it.
Is this it here, stuff like ending the 25% tax-free lump sum on pensions?
Well, obviously Labour haven't said what they will do. This
is Conservatives' guess.
Yeah, they're claiming.
Right, I see.
If they need to raise enough money to get their numbers to add up.
Yeah.
But you see, Labour will say that if they get growth, famous growth, then they won't need to necessarily raise taxes. Oh, the Chief Happiness Officer's back.
There are a few here around pensions, though. You know, state pension being dragged into income tax for the first time, ending this 25% tax-free lump sum, making tax relief on pension contributions less generous, extending national insurance, employers' national insurance national insurance on employer pension contributions. So
yeah, I wondered about that. Can you explain what that is? Because
the employers' national insurance anyway, already exists on wages and benefits in kind. So it's just another, which is 13.8%. It's another hit to employers, but it's now putting on the pension contributions, which just is a bizarre one, I suppose. But it's and then
But have we ever had that? We've never had that.
So, no. But anything to do with tax relief on pension contributions. And then the 25% lump sum reduction, which is the tax-free amount when you take a pension out. I mean, that's just a double whammy both ways. That's going to, that's a big thing. A lot of tax planning for the owner business. When we come to dividend rates that have gone up historically, and we start looking when we talk to people, what can you do? And we talk about pensions all the time. Obviously, the tax relief on putting the money in, and then the 25% relief when you actually take the money out. If both of those go, I mean, that's it's constraining the already constrained world of how do you reduce CT and how do you efficiently remunerate yourself. It'll affect IFAs with their tax planning as well for
that would be
people's pensions going forward.
That would be
serious.
significant.
Yeah.
That would change the way a lot of people plan their lives as a business owner or director of a business, is it?
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, definitely, yeah. And
we're not. By the way, we're not party political. We're just reporting on what
these are
claiming
things
could happen. And some of them sounded very technical, so I thought I'd ask Simon as the accountant here. Yeah. Not the Chief Happiness Officer.
Applying capital gains tax to family homes by ending private residence.
Oh no, they ruled that one out.
Oh, have they? Oh,
yeah,
right.
That was the one they ruled out. Straight off.
Don't talk about that one then, because that one would be awful. Okay. We won't even explain that one, but forget
fine.
it then.
But what about these enterprise investment scheme and seed enterprise investment scheme?
Ending them. Well, we talked about them last week when we talked about CGT, and obviously CGT. We talked about examples where you have a second house and you haven't got private resident relief, and there's potentially CGT on it. But if you invest that money in a tech company through seed enterprise investment scheme or enterprise investment scheme, either capital gains, you can defer them, and great things available. So, but if they end the schemes, I mean. Obviously, that's just not affecting CGT. That's affecting, that's a massive source of funding. I mean, tech companies, when they start off, we sort of say, 100 to 100, they've got family money, they might have a bit of money to start with, but, SEIS was a 150, and Conservatives put that up to 250 recently. So
so you can put
250,000 SEIS.
Yeah.
No, just from a tech company starting up. That was a great, when they look at their milestones for payments, they've got, a bit of family funding. They've got SEIS, which is the 250, the EIS, which is much, much bigger, millions. There's R&D tax credits along the way, which are kickbacks from the government, and there's grants along the way. And, they're all very concerned with the burn rate with tech companies and where their milestones are going to be for the next payments. And so relying on that first 250,000 for getting seed enterprise investment is that's a massive stifler for growth. Well,
if they did it.
Does it specifically say?
It just says ending it now. Whether they replace it with something else.
Well, actually, no.
Even if they would do that.
Look, it says ending enterprise, which is the big one.
No,
cutting or ending seed. Yeah.
Cutting or ending seed.
Ending venture capital, ending business asset disposal, which we talked about last week, which was the 10% entrepreneurs rate, which used to be called entrepreneurs relief. Which is
that when you sell your business as an entrepreneur, you pay less tax?
Yeah. Well, I don't know whether we should get too wrapped up in these.
But I just thought I'd ask you about them because, frankly, unless you're an accountant and a good one at that, you wouldn't know the ins and outs.
The main ones on here will be the pension. If any of that came to fruition, it'd be cutting tax relief on pension contributions or removing the 25% lump sum. They're serious.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens. We'll be back with another election special next week.
Yeah, I don't know when. I say it was a quick rapid fire to this one, but I think we'll. Laura, when are we? There's someone behind the camera. When are we booked in for the next one?
We're recording the next one next week, I think. But I mean, look, this is sort of the start of the story because the other thing, people might be fed up with this election already. I don't blame you. Now the football started, everyone will switch off. I'm sure they haven't already. Although it's quite dull.
The first half an hour is great.
And then it tailed off. Anyway, if you're not bored by Gareth Southgate's team, you'll be watching the football and you're not paying attention to politics or this election, but it's just the start of the story because 14 years of a Conservative government about to go. And
how many?
14
Yes, I know, but when you look at that thing where it's much longer, isn't it? When you look at just the bit where he delved in with Brown.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been
historically a long period of time.
Exactly. There's some people watching this who will never have known a Labour government, including our producer behind the camera. So
no,
I don't think. Anyway, so we'll be back with Chief Happiness Officer hopefully.
Yeah,
keeping us all happy.
Now. So please get in touch in the usual channels: www.ridgefieldconsulting.co.uk and
blondemoney.co.uk. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.